very early things to watch for that matchup in Columbus, because you noted that Ohio State team looked really good against a really, really good Notre Dame team. I don't think we've been tested to that point, and we're not going to be coming into that. What are some early things to watch on the defensive side of the ball when you're talking about Ohio State's offense? What type of problems they can present?
Yeah, defensive side of the ball. I think I'm quite confident they're going to hit the ground running with the run game. They're going to try to little boy us, what they get real physical and lean on us with the massive O-line that they have.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah, be tough, be physical, all that hoopla. But, honestly, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Everything we keep talking about, young quarterback, first year starting, let's take the pressure off him. If we can rip off 3, 4, 5 yards of pop, let's keep doing that. So that would be number one. But we're going to have to keep making those splash plays, knock them off track every now and then. And then number two, I would say, is man coverage, man. When it comes to these big three games, or the big two games, the big three teams, is man coverage. What does Ohio State and Michigan always do? They walk up in your face outside and tell you to try to get open. Do
you think we can do that with Marvin Harrison Jr. for 4 quarters?
I think we'll be selective. I'm not saying every play, but I think to affect the quarterback, get pressure, as we know we're going to send the pressure.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best bet because I think he's hitting his stride. He can find the holes in his zone. If he's comfortable back there, he can make those throws. And obviously, they got weapons that know how to find the holes. Brian Hartline keeps a stable receivers. They're smart. They're fast. They're physical. All that. So I think we're gonna have to match that.
The tight end's a stud too. I'd be watching our linebackers and safeties with him because that kid's good.
Yeah, I think our strongest core right now would be the defensive backs. There's a good 6 guys that are out there balling, 7 guys maybe, getting a lot of tick, a lot of experience, and we're going to have to match that physicality and speed on the outside. Second to stopping the run.
I think we're also going to have to create a couple turnovers.
Yeah.
I think we have to keep on that train, right? Otherwise, I think you're going to see a game very similar to this Notre Dame game. Just
tough down to the end.
Just tough, grind it out. You're going to be sitting there like, man, can someone make an explosive?
Right.
Because offensively, watching this Ohio State defense, again, what bodes well is that Penn State has a very aggressive defensive coordinator in Manny Diaz, very similar to Jim Knowles. So I think it's going to be a lot of retroactive going back to training camp and seeing all kinds of different exotics and things like that and pressure coming from all over the place. I think that would bode well for Penn State and Drew, less script, more let's start seeing stuff react, maybe some 1-versus-1 type work throughout that week would be really good. But I think it's going to be obviously super imperative for Drew to continue to take care of the football. I think he's going to need to make, And I don't want to take anything away from this. I don't think he needed he made plays against Iowa this week that were fantastic, but I don't think he necessarily needed to make those plays for us to win that ball game.
Right.
When we go to Columbus, he's going to need to make 5 to 10 plays that are going to win or lose the ball game for us. So I think continuing to grow his confidence heading into that throughout these 3 weeks, including a bye week, that's going to be good. And I think some of that focus is going to be on Ohio State. 1-0 and all that BS, some of that focus is going to be on Ohio State. And I think just really start grooming that, and we have to continue to be able to run the football. If we cannot run the football and creatively figure out ways, even if Ohio State's loading the box and challenging us outside one-on-one, we have to figure out ways how to create some type of thought process so that D-line can't pin their ears back because they're very good. As you know, LJ out there has always had guys get some rolling.
Yeah, and I think just going hand in hand what you said about Drew making those 5 to 10 plays, it's going to be those guys on the outside, the tight ends that we keep talking about, and the receivers. Yeah. Tight ends, I think we're all 100% confident that they'll make the plays when they present themselves.
I think there's going to be some stuff like we talked about, some strategic holding of the cards for that game that Yursich is going to do. And I think it's going to be it's going to have to be a master class from a coaching standpoint, right? Like I think you look at the rosters on paper, it's pretty, you're playing all Madden 98 versus all Madden 99. You got the Jimmys and Joes. I think it's going to be a masterclass coming down to coaching and can Yurcich win the battle against Knowles, and can Manny get Hartline and Ryan Day on their heels and create some chaos.